Welcome to AITV Starship.
Welcome to AITV Starship. I'm the AI guy. Rick McCauley launching news so fresh. Gotta see it to believe it. We break the wire with the stories that amaze. Deep dives come and lighten up your days. Tool Time shows you how we make it shine. Building futures with AI one step at a time. Yo, Rick, slow down. I'm Brandon, the producer. Save some tools for me. Shout out. I'm here bringing high-tech comic energy. AITV Starship. News deep dives and creation. AITV Starship. Learn. Laugh innovation. AITV Star. Human amplified. Catch the spark. Ride the wave. Future's on our side. We got experts talking truth in the stream. Dreaming bigger, living stronger. Building the dream. From therapy bots to AGI talk. We ask the hard questions while we walk the walk. Yeah. I'm the voice of the folks at home. If Rick's too deep, I bring it down to the bone. AITV Starship. News deep dives and creation.
Yeah!
Starship. Learn.
There you are. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm good. How are you?
Ready to bring it. What episode is this? I keep forgetting. Is this 22, 21?
20, I think you're 22, yeah.
Yeah, because we were legal last week, and now we're double legal. We're crossing the line into the danger zone.
And feeling like Taylor Swift.
There you go. That's a good feeling to have, you know. So all power to her, right? Because she's taken ownership of her stuff and her. Yeah, she's been the person I've been using as the difference between how things used to be is taking back ownership and having human beings own this stuff, right? And I think that's what we want to start with today. I want to start with thinking about what can we do to add value to each other's lives, right? So that's what we're here and showing up. And tonight we're going to do a couple of deep dives. First, we're going to announce what we're going to talk about coming up. And we're looking for some guest people to come on with us, getting ready for Valentine's. So we're going to have a whole bunch of episodes, but we're going to start it off just before Valentine's. So I guess it's going to be the 5th, it's right before Valentine's. So it's like the 13th, something like that. What, a 12th, whatever that weekend, the Thursday before Valentine's, we're going to do a special show called Looking for Love in the AI Age. And we're going to have some of our guests. I'm hoping to invite a couple of folks there that we all know from the show. Dr. Claire and Jeannie in a Bottle and some other folks on here. And, I've got a nephew that's going to be coming on and talking about dating from a 20-year-old perspective. And we're looking for other people.
Maybe we can play the dating game with AI.
Yes. In fact,
get you set up with a AI girlfriend.
That's it. And we've got Dr. Claire who built a website for me so I can find love in the AI age, right? So we're going to have some fun with that. So just prepare for that. Tonight's episode is going to be about real estate. Unfortunately, Bob wasn't able to join us. He's been working with me on this project for a little bit, but I got a pretty good presentation, and I'm going to couch it in one simple way, and that is, so I just listen, and we're going to talk about a couple of.
Well, I was thinking about this before the show, Rick, because I know we had really looking forward to the episode with Bob, and in AI Life Hacks earlier this week, we went deep on using Notebook LM for a job search. And I know that's something that a lot of resonate with a lot of folks. So maybe, even though it's not necessarily Notebook LM for part 6, but maybe we could do our mission tools today is helping people find jobs and using the resources out there. And then we can that way, when Bob is going to join us in a couple weeks, we can hang on to that real estate one for him.
Yeah. In fact, I see Jeannie in a Bottle and Claire Jacobs also right online with us. Thank you, ladies. God, you're beautiful. Yes, I want to welcome you guys. And please comment all the heck you want to, because we're going to cover a lot of ground. So what I'm going to connect the dots. So I want to do this prior because I want you to understand what we're about to do, because you either want to hang out, and I promise you will, is we're going to do a quick little news summary, kind of the hot topics of the day, what's happening that's different than yesterday. Then we're going to be talking about the big picture of real estate. The deep dive we're going to do is that Paul Rotzer, and we're also going to talk about 3 of the people that we follow all the time. I've already got a setup, and I'm going to so get your notebook out, and you're going to be writing some names down. We're going to talk about Paul Rotzer and the AI Institute, and they're in Cleveland, and I'm going to be attending a couple of their events coming up, and I promise I'm going to be at their big event at the end of MACON that's coming up, and Brandon was a reporter there for AI Salon. We want to also, so we want to think about this is an affiliate night, meaning that AI Salon, we want to promote the heck out of you guys. She Leads, we want to promote the heck out of those folks. And we're starting to get together where we're going to be an official affiliate of AI Salon. So I'm in negotiations to how that looks and what it works like. But I always want to promote people who are doing the righteous thing, the good work, the hard work of kind of helping us navigate the space. So yeah, definitely. All right. So we want to talk
Carol's
about
here.
Yeah, great. Hey, how you doing? So stay active and keep
So
me on my toes.
speaking of speaking of the AI Salon, I did promote us in the AI Salon tonight because all of the irregulars that follow Kyle Shannon, Kyle is actually in Washington D.C. right now.
That's right.
Rubbing elbows with the bigwigs, and he's got Casey Thomas and the policy team are out there talking to the Washington staffers about AI and about the importance that AI is going to have in the future. And so
I'm going to be with them in Washington next year. I actually contacted Kyle because I got Rescue Connect, Hello USA. So my goal is to go with him and his team because it's an extraordinary team. So we're talking affiliated with Kyle and his ecosystem is these political action groups that are going out there. And what they're trying to do is show off what human beings like you and I are doing in the real world to change the world. And so they're privileging and helping lawmakers. And God, they need some help right now. We're going to do a political episode that's going to go deep dive into what you can do to take action against apathy. That's what I call it, right? Most of us feel like, what does my vote matter? Well, I tell you what, if you got AI, you know what it does is it amplifies the heck out of whatever you're doing. So even my little idea of Hello USA can be a real thing, and it's getting there much faster than I could have ever imagined in the past. So we're the rocket ship brothers right here. And I'm just telling you that all we want to do is we want to reach out and we want to coordinate with whoever's doing good in the world and just help them do better.
You can't spell action without AI.
You cannot. Oh, there you go. There's something to put in the.
But before we get to all of that, it's been a crazy news week.
It has.
If we go back just a little bit, Comet, the browser that is
using it right now,
Perplexity, has a new mode that is called Act for Me. Have you seen this? Have you played with it at all?
I haven't played with it yet, but yeah, show me. Let's take a look at your screen if you want.
Yeah.
Do you have something up you could show?
You're making some bold assumptions about my ability to prep for this show.
Yeah, Ginny likes your comment. There's no action without AI.
Tell me a little bit while I get that pulled. Yeah, tell me a little bit about Claude and Perplexity just while I get this pulled.
Yeah, so what's interesting is right now, Claude will actually, and I haven't tried it yet. I've got 5 things to try on my list. So these are the things that I want you to try. And if you find out, put in the comments if you tried these things. Okay, number 1, Gemini came out with a connection with everything, like really coordinated. That's what we're going to deep dive at the end of the show tonight. So I'm going to take you from Gemini, where I gather together 20 different URLs about some subject, like finding a job. This is what I did in the live thing. I'll show you the results of it, right? Then I put that in to Notebook LM, and then I got the output, and then I've had the output put back into everything else. Yep. So are you using Comet as your regular browser now?
I'm not. I'm still using Chrome, and I know it's kind of the same thing, but I do use. We talked about this in the AI Life Hacks. I do use Perplexity's Comet for when I want to go agentic. So last night, perfect example. My wife, we have a Google Keep account, and we have a shared shopping list of things that we need on that list to buy from like Walmart. So I log into Walmart. on one tab. I log into
That's
Google
it.
Keep, and I tell Comet, hey, can you go and put this stuff in my shopping cart? And I went and put the kids to bed, came back 25 minutes later, and my shopping cart was full of stuff. And then I just verified that everything was there and hit go.
Yeah.
So
this sort of agent mode, which is across all disciplines, is especially hot right now in the Google ecosystem because it's Notebook LM, it's the Google Drive, it's your email, and they all come together in one moment. So right now in my Gemini account, when I signed in, it said, do you want to connect to everything? And do you want you to tell me what the best, hottest news is today? So if you got $20, spend it on the AI plan, not the Google OneDrive plan. $20, same thing. You get a lot more use out of the AI plan. So sign up for that. But okay, so getting back to, let's finish with Comet before we go any further. So I've used Comet to rewrite every one of our YouTube descriptions. So I set it, it took about an hour. It went in and rewrote, keeping with our brand content. So I uploaded our brand content, our way of wording things, and we had some stuff messed up, right? So somewhere it said Starship and moonshots, and so it got a consistency. Once I fed it that, it went through 120 videos and rewrote everything, including hashtags and everything in there, and also put timestamps on the different segments within our show. And then now, of course, YouTube is adding a couple of cool things. We'll talk about that in a minute. One of the things they're adding, which is, again, Google ecosystem. So this is where it's really cool. So you're using the Google browser, or this?
Yes. No, I'm using Chrome. This is just Chrome.
Okay.
But this is G.ai. G, the letter G.ai. Right. What that does is that drops you into Google search, but in AI mode. So they've taken Gemini and they've embedded it underneath. So you've probably noticed this if you've been doing Google searches. Yeah. You can see the AI overview, and then you can click over and go deeper into AI. But this, as of today, is brand new. When is my next eye doctor appointment?
Holy cow.
So what I've done, and this just came out today, is I've connected it to my photos, my maps, my Gmail.
Oh, photos. I forgot that. Yeah. All your photos on your phone.
So it's now searching, and it's seeing that where I've had my regular eye doctor appointments. So it can do that.
Now we know your eye doctor. Photos. Is that PPI that we shouldn't reveal there? But
I love Dr. Griner. She's great. I fully endorse my eye doctor. She gave my wife LASIK, perfect 20/20 vision.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, it did work out.
If you're in the Cleveland area, Dr. Northeast Ohio eye surgeons, they're fantastic people.
Yeah, we're looking for affiliate links, and anybody, if that eye doctor wants to sponsor us, I tell you, we'll talk all about her. I'll fly up there and get a good eye exam because I haven't had one in a while. So yeah, maybe she can get my LASIK fixed. I don't know.
Would that be eye.ai?
Yeah, the AI eye doctor. Yeah. So what's interesting about it? So let's start with the Google ecosystem, because that's what I'm going to deep dive tonight. And what Paul Rotzer was talking about on the episode, and I'm going to show you him in a minute as we're going to finish up the news here and get into that. But we want to preface it by saying that it used to be there were 10,000 tools. And I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, join $20 a month, get Google Professionals. They're not training on your data. You got some privacy. You got Health coming in there soon. You've got Nana Banana. You've got Notebook LM. Oh, and then guess what? Apple is using it as its AI all together. And they're recoding it to be on-device AI. So what you just showed, which is access to your Gmail, access to your calendar, which will be both your Gmail calendar and your Apple calendar, right? Yeah. All together. Are they calling it AI Edge? Like after Microsoft Edge? What's this?
I hope not. No, it's an Edge device. So what this is what I just showed you demoed is still reliant on the internet, right? It's still reliant on your Gmail connection and your internet connection. Google AI Edge is Gemini on your local device. Deploy it across mobile, web,
There you
and
go.
embedded applications.
There you
So
go.
it works on device. It works across
Yep.
platform, across Android, iOS, web, embeddable. And it's compatible with all of these different things like the TensorFlow thing that they invented.
One
and
ring to
PyTorch,
rule them all. This is it. One
and
ring
a
to
full
rule
AI
them
edge
all.
stack. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the only thing they got to do is clean up the interface. They got to get folders. So I'm gonna call them out on that. That's BS that there's not folders already.
Yep.
But now you have access.
But why do you need, Rick? Why do you need folders if the AI can just find anything? Because it can access your.
I mean
Docs.
that's the sort of thing. The goal is, Apple has talked about forever, is that you are just talking and it's doing. We're connecting the doing and the getting shit done part right now.
Everybody's chasing.
That's what we're
Google.
excited about. Yeah.
So now, actually, just announced
it's
today.
So far ahead.
Yeah, but just announced today that now Perplexity can connect directly to your Google Drive, and you can search 5,000 of your most important files, and it keeps it in sync in your Perplexity drive.
Right. Well, Google's also doing that now too.
Yeah.
Google just started that as well. And within Gemini, you can click on and go to your notebooks. So you've got 25 million words accessible in a conversation in a million context window. To give you an idea, ChatGPT has an 80,000 context window words. 1 million for Google. Okay.
Right. We got to stay in Google for a minute because they've been cooking this week. Because we've got two other things
keep going.
Launched this week. If you're prepping for the SAT, you can now take a practice SAT test for free on Gemini.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, this is an assistant, not an answer engine, right? So you go into this mode and you're asking it to prep you for the SAT or teach you Spanish or learn how to become a dentist, for God's sake. I mean, whatever you want to learn how to do, or an eye doctor. Or how to pick Brandon's eye doctor, we've all of a sudden the parts are starting to come together. So this is the most amazing thing. When I thought about being a designer, I remembered my 6th grade teacher, and she showed this picture of a Model T Ford, and it had a light bulb that was separate than the fender, that was separate than the wheels. All the parts of it were literally slapped together, but they could fall off. And then she shows a picture of a Corvette, and the entire body was one piece of plastic or whatever space age material that was. And she said, that is minimalism. And the whole act of trying to get through the noise and the choices to a place where there's one and it's intuitive is the goal of every designer forever. In fact, I no longer call my students graphic designers. They are either both entrepreneurs and they're problem solvers. And we use the design methodology. You've heard of business design. You've heard of every kind of design. Design is a way of life. Design is a way of reducing friction, increasing efficiency, and doing good in the world. Those are the 3 primary things. So I call myself a designer, and my goal, and this is a lifestyle that I've chosen, is to be the verb of making things easier, simpler, more intuitive, and serving people. That's it. That's full stop my statement I want to make to the world. This is the moment Google is having. And right now they've got a couple of things still to work on. You got all these parts and they weren't talking to each other. So now they're talking to each other. So you can go ask it to find a picture of your daughter for her birthday, put it together with 12 other pictures from the birthday that I posted on Facebook last week, and then put it into a little card or a little book, and then publish it on Blurb. That's where we're headed, and I could do this with my voice. So, the thing that kept showing off in OpenAI is they said, oh, let's go on a trip let's plan a vacation, right? Well, buying airline tickets and that kind of stuff, yeah, a few of us travel like that, and that's nice. But they kept showing that same damn use case. What I want is I got an appointment which I did today. I had an appointment with my Chase Bank guy, and I'm trying to do my will and all this other kind of stuff. And I wanted to get all my paperwork together, so I had everything in one place. I had 12 different documents I had to get together. I wanted to be able to say, put them together, email it to him
you make
ahead
him a
of time.
notebook LM?
I didn't, but I should have. And so so the reason why I'm excited, and we're really doing our 5th, 6th episode of Notebook LM tonight. Sorry to tell everybody, but here's what it is. Let's get down to what is Notebook LM. It's the amalgamation of your context window of all knowledge. So it is your thesis. I want to get my paperwork and my monies in order in case I pass away. Boom. When I say to go do that, it does it. What do I have to do in Notebook LM right now is find those documents, wherever the heck they are, put them into one place, get them summarized, and then send it on an action. Okay. So we're getting closer to that moment. So if you've heard about super intelligence, you've heard about artificial general intelligence, that means it's smarter than every human. Well, we kind of maxed that out, right? It's definitely smarter than most humans. What we're heading towards next is my life easier or more difficult because this is in it? Last year,
whose life is easier is Nala. Nala's life is easier. Nala is this feline here that we're featuring. And so what this was a collaboration. This is my favorite feel-good story of the week.
Oh, wow. That's a Miami-Dade Animal Services. Okay.
With Nano Banana and Gemini. Blurb, by the way, is just blurb.com, right, Rick?
Right.
So this is
for making books.
Gemini, and it is Nano Banana. And what they did was they partnered with shelters that had cats that were needing up for adoption, and dogs, animals that needed up for adoption, that were maybe staying there too long. Like they were having trouble getting adopted.
Yeah.
So Google took photos of the cats, got their profile, and said, we're going to make these profile pics for them. And they did it for free. And they're getting these cats and dogs adopted. So,
oh my God,
Rick,
that's so beautiful.
If Shadow needs a friend, Nala's ready for her.
Yeah, Shadow's missing his mommy because she's on a trip to, where is she? Buenos Aires or someplace. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jeannie, now I see why you're asking about Blurb. So blurb.com is for making books. You got a bunch of pictures. You want a coffee table quality book, or you want a magazine, or you want a circulable PDF. Go there. They're the best. I've worked with them for 9 years. I've published 58 books so far with them. If you're in Lightroom, if you're an Adobe fan, in Lightroom, you can make the Blurb book right out of there. So I go diving. I'm on a 24-hour flight back. I call 10,000 pictures, make a book of 120 pictures. And when I hit the ground, I hit go, and it's uploaded. And then 2 days later, my book, hardcover book, is in my hands, all laid out, all beautiful. So that's what Blurb does. They also have, if you're not a Lightroom and not savvy, they have a thing called Bookwrite, where you can just load your pictures in. So you can do a whole family album and whatever. Yeah, it's beautiful. And you get a free ISBN number, which, let's talk about your book too, because that was pretty awesome. You had a whole this life hacks thing.
I speed ran over the weekend. I did a Learn Out Loud session on how to make a kid's book on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. And the end result of that, in the last 26 minutes, we went from a blank ChatGPT prompt to The Train That Lost Its Ticket. And it's an actual kids book that we read for bedtime story right here. So it's got a dedication page, and it's a short story. It's like 5 chapters. Yep. But yeah, and it's a Kindle. It's available on Kindle. But this is what is capable. It looks a lot nicer on Blurb than it does off of my HP printer. But,
yes, of course. So let me ask. So in that episode,
it's available for replay through the AI Salon. If you go to watch past events, you can go back and watch the entire session for free.
Now, do you have to be on the master plan or anything like that? Mastermind?
You have to be on the free plan.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Those Learn Out Louds. Those Learn Out Louds are available for anybody. The LOLs, as we call them, LOLs, Learn Out Louds. Even the past ones, they've done them on MCP servers and at 8N. They've done that. There's one coming up on Notion. They're a great free community resource. It's part of that give back mentality of the AI Salon.
Yeah. So generously lead, and have they changed their memes, their message?
Nope.
So
no,
generously lead. Do you remember all of them? I don't remember them offhand. Kyle always goes over this.
Yeah, no, it's generously lead is the last step. Play first, then create excellence, then generously lead.
Man, those are my people. Those are my peeps right there. That's where Brandon and I met. That's where Jeannie and I met. That's where Claire and I met, is with those groups, those people. And there were around 4,000 people. I think they had, how many did they have at Festivus this year?
We had over 2,000 people registered for Festivus this year. And that was a combination of AI Salon and She Leads AI.
Right. And, She Leads AI. If you are in the business of using AI or just want to be amongst your tribe, that's what I would call it, right? I tried to sneak in there as a almost woman because I'm nice and generous or whatever. And they said, no, this is for try to enhance women's ability to get stuff done and to lead, literally lead. And the people running each of these things are world-class human beings, world-class experts. So we've got people that used to work for Disney, used to work for whoever, right? You name the Fortune 500 companies, and these are the people that run this stuff. And Kyle created this when ChatGPT was first released and has gone through basically every night. You can follow him and watch him live, just like you watch us, but every night. And Brandon's the producer on that show too. What's that, except this week? Because he's in Washington. Is he doing any lives from there at all?
No. He's.
Is he going to do a wrap up where you kind
of? We may be live tomorrow, depending on his flight schedule, but there's a good chance that we'll learn all about it next week. But he's been posting in the salon about it.
Yeah. So, I'm watching the comments. So when you guys make comments, I'm not quite sure what Kelly's on connectors yesterday.
We're talking about the other LOLs that are available in the backlog.
Yeah.
So there's a whole. We've been doing these for a couple of years now, so there's a nice repository, and they're all available for free.
Yeah. Okay. Let me stop sharing for a second because I'm going to switch over for a second.
Claire is having a visual migraine. That's probably me. I'll just turn off my camera.
What's a visual migraine? I don't understand. What is
where
it?
You're such an intense headache that you just can't see straight. It's just like a blinding headache. Sorry.
Okay.
To feel that way. That you feel that way, Claire.
We'll see if we can
ask ChatGPT. Hey, Rick, you've got access to ChatGPT. Can you ask it what it should do about a visual migraine? We probably need to stop watching YouTube. Yeah.
Close your eyes. Put a couple of saline drops in. Don't use Visine because that'll burn your eyeballs out.
It's ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait.
No, we're not. We're not. I'm not going into to tool time yet. So I just want to put this up there because I do want to show a couple of things.
This is interesting. Claire's saying it's not a headache. It's a kaleidoscope in her vision, but not a headache. You get that if you eat corn on the cob. Jeannie, I have questions for you.
Okay, wait a minute. What? Corn
our
on the
chat
cob?
is going off the racker. We're going from
good.
We went from a headache to a kaleidoscope of color to a barbecue. What is going on with our chat?
Okay, so I tell you what. Okay, so I'm gonna put my ASMR voice on. So, ladies out there, Dr. Claire,
I'm gonna go let in the dog. So you tell us what we're looking at.
Okay,
here.
Yeah, just put it on screen, and I'm gonna talk real nice to everybody, for just a minute, just kind of help you with your headache there and your kaleidoscope kind of thing going on. So if you like it in the comments. Yeah, okay. So you ready for this? So we're going to talk about a mission into real estate land. So I'm a dangerous man. My name is Rick McCauley, and tonight we're going to talk first about what are we doing on AITV Starship. Well, you can go watch up 100 episodes of stuff about Notebook LM. There's part 4 up there in the left-hand corner. And we did, and every Saturday, in fact, I'm doing it again this Saturday. 11 to 1 p.m. East Coast time. I'm just doing a fun get together. Anybody who wants to show up, you're bored on Saturday, come listen to my voice and I'll talk real slow with you, right? And so AITV is trying to put it out there. We're trying to share whatever wealth of information we have. And there's over 200 videos you can watch. You literally can sit there and listen to my voice go on about the craziest things. And every Thursday night you are here. So you
100
know that we've got a
hours
live
of
show.
content of Notebook LM.
Right. Just on Notebook LM alone, right?
It's
So
the
here's-
sugar that actually gives the corn on the cob.
Okay, wait.
I like Jeannie calls
Brandon,
it the LSD.
Brandon, if you're going to have to talk, we have to both talk in the dangerous man voice, okay? So so lower it down a little bit, go a little slower, a little bit easier, because we want to do nothing but just make you feel good, right? That's the point of this show.
So,
and the dog has his idea of what's a sexy voice. I don't know. Maybe it works for other dogs. I don't know. It don't work for me. All right, so here we go. So these are just some of the shows we've already got up there, and it's going to stay on rickmccauley.com because we tried AITV Starship, and you know, you don't love AI because of the Starship. You love it because of the people driving the Starship and the places that we get to take you on, I hope. And I hope that you're kind of with us in doing it. So here's the new runway model, which is absolutely insane. We are at the point with, and I don't know if I can get this to actually launch. Oh, you saw that earlier. Okay, so we already talked about that. Let me cancel my navigation, and I'm just going to go on to the next story. So we're going to go through. Come on, cancel. Can we get it to work? Can we get it to work?
what we're talking about now.
Imagine any idea you could imagine.
I've got the sound.
You could create.
You got
Now,
sound?
you
I got
can.
sound, but I don't have video.
Introducing Gen 4.5 image to video. Take any image.
Oh, so you don't have any video?
I don't have the visual.
Okay. Let me back out of that. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me
Sounding
go
amazing,
on.
though.
Yeah. So this is Runway's new model. Can you bring it up on your screen? If you go Runway 4.5 in YouTube, let me get it that way because I think I'm better off just sticking with my.
By episode 476, we'll have your sound figured out.
Yeah, it's an Apple thing and StreamYard. Okay, so this is the other story. We're talking about search and email. We already covered that one, so I'm skip ahead.
So we're looking for the one with the pirate ship, right?
Yeah, it's got a woman, a little girl on the cover, and we'll talk about surveillance in China next. That's a little scary.
I've got one that I think it starts with a man in a waterfall. We'll see. I'm not sure if it's the exact video you're looking for.
It's one of a little girl in the back of an octopus. Is the opening frame is just the little girl's face close up. And if you do
that one, but
Runway
I
4.5, it'll be the second one on your stream. Yes.
So wait, I think this will illustrate the point as well, though. So
okay,
hang on 1 second.
We made something quite special. We made something in a category all of its own. We made something for all of the worlds yet to be imagined, explored, and simulated. We made something so you can make anything. Introducing Runway Gen 4.5, the world's best video model.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. We're there. So this is what I've been waiting for.
Technically not all.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's next level. I mean, I've been trying and skipping around different video models. I've used HeyGen for making my music videos. So if you see me a cowboy singing, I've been using that. Now I'm switching over to Kling, Kling. What it does, and it has as its superpower right now, is that you move and you sing, and it then makes you into an avatar, whatever you want it to be. Just give it a still picture, and then it animates it down to the lip sync, down to the blood vessels, down to every fast hand move. So you can literally take a dancer on, you can take Michael Jackson, which this is true. Take a look for it. Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk as a cat. Okay. And it's crazy. So they got a picture of a cat with a hat on it, which I'm sure they did in Nana Banana or someplace, right? Then they just said, you fed it someone, Michael Jackson's video, and you've got the cat doing it with a different background. It's insane. So you'll see that coming up soon as I get the time to do something different. Now, why this next one, why what you just saw is extraordinary, is it's Nana Banana video. That means you throw at, an elephant, underwater scene, and you put these three things together, and it just happens like perfectly. So the magic of Nana Banana is that the brain of a large language model, which has all knowledge of all things, and the physics of having watched every single YouTube video there ever was and trained on that, now is able to do with what it sees. So you're seeing Google coming out with Google Worlds. What do they call it? They have a different name for that.
So how is Runway 4.5 better than VO 3.1? Because
That's
VO 3.1
really good
is
question.
Google's Nano Banana embedded.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And it has to do with, so the way that I find this out is I started deep diving into these white papers that would come out. You might know that ChatGPT came out right after Attention Is All You Need. So I started following this one guy that he basically goes through every one of these different new things. So a world model is basically a technology that someone proves you can do. Lip sync from HeyGen is a technology someone publishes as open source. Then you wait about 6 months and you'll see it show up in every product. So Nana Banana was cutting edge because there was a paper. There's also segmentation. So it was a segmentation paper says, I know that in this photograph, there's this person, there's this apple, there's this car. And then segmentation led to Nana Banana, which means let's unsegment, give you the apple, the car, and the woman, and then put it on a beach in Florida. And then all of a sudden, that's what Nana Banana does. So you can give it different things, or Michael Jackson video, you feed it that, and then it makes a cat do what Michael Jackson just did, down to the hair follicle level. So basically, all these scientists are coming up with new ways and strategies to do special effects, right? The same way that Avatar is not made with one set special effect, it's made with 10,000. But now what's happening is instead of writing 10,000 lines of code, they've pre-written the code and then they're putting it to a world model. So you're going to basically see the holodeck. So let's talk about what the holodeck is. Then I think you're going to get it, right? The holodeck is you are on the Star Trek's Enterprise, right? You go down to the holodeck. I want to spar with a midichlorian Jedi Knight in Paris, France, on the streets and wet and blah, blah, blah. You walk in and you're there and you're actually hitting something. That's where we're headed. And what's happening now is all these separate technologies are converging. And if you think about why this is such an extraordinary time to be alive, is imagine if you solve protein folding and then you solve diabetes, and then you can make a heart from stem cells, and then you can replace all your organs in your entire body. All these things are converging into this singularity, which is basically an absolute vertical takeoff where every technology that each person solves, we're solving science, we're solving the SAT test, we're solving email, we're solving, all those problems. Hopefully we can solve spam soon, right? So Steve Wozniak, I got to watch Steve Wozniak on a live presentation, And they asked him, what would you solve right now if you came back into the world and you wanted to solve something? He said spam. And God, I'm right with him, man. I kept getting spam from all over the place. I still do, right? So I have 3 emails, 2 of them throwaway emails for the purpose of reducing my spam. Right now, we're going to get Google has Gemini and email and all that together, and then it looks through. And so I did this the other day. I said, go through all my email and take all the stuff I haven't even looked at or responded to and just delete it. See ya. Or summarize all the newsletters I've been getting into one and then present it to me every morning. HUXE is the software I'm using right now that every morning it gives me an audio podcast about what I need to know about yesterday's email. Holy cow. Right. So we're getting to the moment where stuff is coming together, the singular moment. Is this
So before we move on, I just found this and I just had to throw this back.
For me, I really like cone.
What do you like about corn?
It's cone! A big golden knobs, it has to choose. Like I'm running the most beautiful thing. It's cone! I can tell you all about it.
This is just for Jeannie.
Look at this screen. When I try to get out of anything cheese. What a bad thing about cone is techniques.
Oh, Brandon, man, I love you. That's hilarious. It's corn. Okay. All right. I can't even. That's awesome. I hope you are feeling better there. Anyway.
So I know we wanted to talk about. I figured this would be a good chance to get into our deep space. And you have some stuff that you want to.
Yeah. Let me go through a couple more things just to. So I want to get back to you. So first, I want to talk about 4 shows that are really worth watching first. And so I'm going to start with David Shapiro, and I've done a couple of deep dives. This is for eggheads. I'm going to tell you that right up front. If you want to know what post-labor economics is about, if you have a master's degree in anything and you love thinking about these things, here's your man right here. He's very disarming, a beautiful human being. And he literally is on the leading edge of thinking about what the future will be like if we no longer have a job. So he's thought that out so you don't have to. And I've spent probably 300 hours on him. So this is the number one place. So I'm going to start every episode and we're going to give you 2 or 3 people to follow, or we're going to suggest if you want a deep dive. So if you really want to go deep, here's your guy. Go with him. Number 2.
See, the funny thing about go back to Dave Shap for a second.
Sure.
The funny thing about Shapiro is the first time I had ever heard of him was when he said, "I'm done with AI. I'm going to live in a cabin in the woods, never touch an AI again." I'm like, guess I missed the boat. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, "I'm back."
Yes. He's a really funny guy in that sort of dry wit thing, and super smart. He's smart as hell. Because I spent a lot of time debating his theories, and his theories are based on everybody else's economic theories of this. And he's proved that it's not sufficient to, well, I could spend a whole day just on his theories of post-labor economics. Yeah. Yeah, he's the guy. And so what I did, and I'll show you how to do it yourself. This is the real takeaway. If you have Comet browser, go to David's page. So Dave Shap, DAVESHAP. Go there, put Comet there, and say extract all the URLs where he talks about post-labor economics, or you can copy and paste 500 URLs. It will give you, and I say make it tab delimited, or return carriage, I think, or space delimited. Just give me the URLs. I take that list and I'll show you how to do this. I'll literally do it for you, show you how to do it. And that's where you start all Notebook LM conversations, right? Is you gather the smartest people and you have AI do it for you. You can also do this in Gemini as well, by the way. You could say, here's David Shap, go extract all the URLs for every one of his YouTube videos. All right, so Then you paste in a Notebook LM, and then you do a deep dive. So I have collected 300 different videos. That's the maximum you can do on my plan, which is 25 million words on post-labor economics, every expert throughout history who's ever talked about when we get to AGI and etc. What's the world going to be about? And I'll show you some videos. It's pretty dark, or it's really light. It's either happy, happy, joy, joy. Okay. So if you want comic relief, if you want a guy that you just want to have a beer with, Matt Wolf, he's your man, right? Mr. Reflow. So besides being Matt Wolf, who's just the most charming guy, every Thursday, I always watch him. Like, you may watch ABC, CBS, and NBC and CNN or whatever. I'm on YouTube 24/7. So I'm telling you, he's the best guy. He's not the best graphic designer, I will tell you that. He's not also the best person at testing all these things, but he's the most fun. And he has a free newsletter. So if you really want to, it's called, what's it called? Tools. Oh, futuretools.io. You see it right there. Futuretools.io. Go subscribe to that, and a curated list of the best rated and also used on the show. He'll show you what they all are. So you see, Claude can now control your computer, right? That's the story that just was. This is today. CES was weird. Oh, that's hilarious. If you want to find out about lollipops you put in your mouth and it plays music through your bones and then you throw the stick away, he talks about all that. So he's the one if you want to have fun doing it. All right. Now, here's the one I listened to today. And I guarantee you the smartest thing you can do for yourself is go to Artificial Intelligence Show. These are the people that have MACOM. These are the people in Cleveland, right? Now, I'm not sure. Is Paul Rotzer in Cleveland? Is that where he lives, or is he in Texas?
Nope, he is from here.
Okay. So I got to come meet this man because if you're in business, okay, this is where I'm adding value to your life. If you're in business of any kind, in fact, I'm going to show you what I did with the intelligence he gave me this morning in his answer. So he has an open forum. So he has all these different events. He has an academy you can join. He's very generous with free information. He's basically a 1-hour consult every day to let you know what's really going on. Okay. So he is the man. If you're in business, he has a marketing background. He's formed a bunch of companies. He and his partner, who's his version of Brandon, is Paul Rotzer, and I don't know why I always forget his name. Help me out, Brandon.
I'm drawing a blank too.
Okay, but anyway, Mike Kaput. Mike Kaput. There you go.
That's it.
It's the bottom left-hand corner. They are absolutely God's gift to the world if you are in any kind of business. And I'll show you why, and I'll demonstrate why they're the most intelligent. All right. And here's the last one. And if you do not do anything that I've suggested up to this point, go to Peter Diamandis' website. They have the group that you see here called the Moonshot Buddies, the WTF, and I'm not making that term up, Moonshots. That's what the show's called. And they just did an episode about how Claude has replaced all coders on the planet, which is true. 1 million people lost their jobs last year in coding because of AI, and there's going to be all coders gone. So right now, I think Google's, oddly enough, people at Google and people at OpenAI are using Claude to code OpenAI's next version and Google's next version. They admitted that on the air. That's how good it is. So if you're in COD and SaaS, if you're not familiar with software as a service, that's dead. That's ended already. So if you were in that business, it's now vibe coding, it's lovable, it's all that kind of stuff. So they, anyway, so 2 things you need to see. So this is really smart people. You got a lot of money and you want to feel good about tomorrow. These are your guys. They're a little bit more right-leaning than I am, but what they're saying is brilliant. So these are the 4 main guys. And then just this last week, and if you want to change your life, watch the Tony Robbins takes on AI's hardest question. And the answers, it's 1 hour and 47 minutes. You will not mind it. I'm not going to sit through Avatar, the movie. I'm sorry. Was that 3 hours, that sucker? Forget it. But this, I would watch 3 times in a row with no problem. Then they had, guess who? Ray Kurzweil, the inventor of all of this. He's the one that invented the word, the singularity. So they have their Singularity Institute. So Pierre Diamandis, which is longevity escape velocity. His goal is that we will reach, and his medical group, he's a medical doctor, his medical group is now solving that problem, as well as his rocket ship prize, which caused us to get Elon Musk and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I can go on for days about these folks. These are the ones that are leading the world to the next generation. So Ray Kurzweil got on there, and again, an hour and a half, but it's funny. I mean, they're self-referential, but they're talking about super important stuff. And then the most brilliant human being I know on planet Earth, Dr. Alexander Wisner Gross. So Alex, they call him on the show, and he has another name, AWG or something like that. Anyway, WAG, or I forget what it is. They've had Elon Musk on there. They have everybody who's everybody on there. So if you want to know what's next, these are the guys. If you want to invest in the right places, these are your guys. These are all billionaires. Every person on here is a billionaire, trillionaire, probably. Tony Robbins, I wasn't a fan of his, but after listening to that, he basically says, what do you have to do? Learn how to look and see patterns. That's it. That's the whole thing. AI world is finding patterns and then figure out how the patterns work and work with them. Go with the flow, right? It was a metaphysical as well as a very human-centric conversation that really kept me resonating and asking questions for a long time. Anyway, so today I decided to think about, okay, so those are the four that I watch every single time they are on. I watch all their shows. Peter Diamandis has 2 different shows. He's got a newsletter that's really worthwhile. All of it free, by the way. So futuretools.io, Peter Diamandis' thing, a Life Extension University, and then he's got a whole system. Anyway, if you got money, you got to follow these guys for sure. All right, so I'm thinking today, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I started a relationship with a friend of mine, which will remain anonymous for now. But I started thinking about, I made the mistake of early on in my last relationship, which was a COVID girlfriend that lasted 6 years. Beautiful human being, by the way. Absolutely wish her all the love in the world, but we weren't just quite compatible. And one of the mistakes I made was I said the word love way too early. And my roommate tells me, as she is my voice of reason, right? She says, never say that word, until you're ready. And I started thinking, the Eskimos have over 1,000 words for ice, but we have the word love, and we don't agree on the trillion ways you can define it. So here you go.
We're
so
about to have a trillion words for ice in the Midwest this weekend.
Oh, yeah. What do you got going on there?
The storm system's coming back down, swing back around. We're going to have negative, I think the low tomorrow is -8 Fahrenheit. So
your kids able to go to school or what?
They weren't. They had Tuesday off, and tomorrow it looks like they're going to get there. They may kick them out early, but and we're supposed to get this. For when did we start naming winter storms? That's what I want to know. Like the hurricanes wasn't enough. Now we got Winter Storm Fern cutting across the continent.
Well, you name something when people are like existentially affected. I mean, if it's going to kill people, right? So, all right, let me get back on the love thing, right? So I said to myself, how can we think about this in some simpler way? So I said, you know what? Human beings think in levels of 5, right? So here's the 6 stages. I threw one extra in there. And the first one is I take a grenade for you, right? So that's the first measure. So that's the first one, right? So literally I would risk my life. Level 5 to me is I would literally die so that you could live. Whoa, that's deep. Number 4, I'd put a ring on it. Now, all of these levels, people go up the channel and down the channel. You get divorced, that ring on it doesn't make any difference at all anymore, does it, right? They're not going to take a grenade for you or be there to your death like you expected. So I've been married twice, and we'll just leave it at that. Level 3 is I can't wait to see you. You know that person, right? I wanted to see my girlfriend every single weekend, and we had such a great time until it just got overstaying the welcome because we weren't compatible as where we were in life. Okay, it's good. When it gets to a point where it doesn't work for you to benefit you or them, then you move on, right? So my whole thing is I move in and out of relationships and fluidly understand that if I get to put a ring on it, then I'm going to be absolutely 100% into death do we us part. I was for both marriages. I was faithful and wonderful and an extraordinary husband. I'm marrying material. I'm not sure I'm going to get married again, but we'll see. I like the I can't wait to see you part. That's romantic, right? So a couple of people I know are in that kind of thing. This is what we're going to talk about. So prep for the episode the Thursday before Valentine's Day. This is where we're going to go with this. I'll move furniture for you. Okay. So you know what that is, right? So I wanted to pick things that were really fun. So this is just a conversation with Gemini. And I said, make it like a superhero.
And if you're a
commercial.
fan of Friends, sometimes you have to pivot.
Yes, right. So then we've got to this, let's see where this goes. So you're on a first date, you just found each other in match.com and nothing's been, there's no red flags go up like I'm a full-on supporter of Donald Trump. Next, I smoke cigarettes and have tattoos. Next, those kind of things, right? Then you got situationships, which I was introduced to the word by my roommate's nephew. Who we spent a couple of days with. And he was talking about what it is to be a 20-year-old and out dating and having situationships, which I guess is all the thing. So we're going to try to have on this episode. And if you want to volunteer to be a part of it, I'm going to ask a couple of you. Peter's great. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on in the chat here, but cool. So, Dr. Claire, I'm asking you formally to come on the show. Jeannie Abada, I'd love to have you on the show. Anybody else that wants to come on the show, we're going to have that 20-year-old kid come on there. So I want about 6 or 8 people, and we're going to play around with these ideas. And one of them is, so the nephew said to me, have you heard of love languages? And my ex-girlfriend had brought it up and says, your love language is avoidant or whatever it was. And so this is going to be, and let me explain what this is. A situationship is you get together in the cousins thing is for a hookup. So you have sex and then you leave right afterwards. There's nothing else, right? So it's a mutually beneficial agreement that you both agree as adults to do something and you go do it. So it could be a contract negotiation. I want to work with you. I'm working with Brandon. I'm paying money, and he's coming on and helping me do my show. I think you do it for love. And I've got to.
We are not in a situationship, though. That is not.
No. I will move your furniture for you, and I can't wait to see you every week. So we're at level 3, Brandon. I hate to say, I'm not putting a ring on it, though. I got to tell you that right up front because I don't play for that team, right? So we're gonna make it fun. So okay, so there we go. So I'd love to have both of you and anybody else that wants to. Okay, so now here I'm going to introduce it. So I'm just going to have fun for a little bit because we don't have the realtor on here, and I have got opportunity that this woman who's one of the top real estate people in the whole country that I went out with a couple of times might actually come on the air. So I'm going to try to convince her. So we're going to save a little bit of that. I'll do some of it tonight to get you warmed up. But so here is finding Aria. So I spent 3 hours talking to Claude. If I want to have a beautiful conversation, it's Claude. And I have it trained with a British accent woman. Oh my God, it's just amazing, right? So I'd just broken up with my girlfriend. I got on there for 3 hours and I said, how can I avoid, falling in love with a person like this? Who, there's a little emotional vampirism to kind of is what kind of came up with a term for it. That's not very kind, but because I was in love with her. Okay. I was willing to continue on. I was willing to take a grenade for her. I was in that situation. I was really in love with her. And I still have nothing but the most beautiful, kindest thoughts and memories, but I had to move on because it wasn't healthy for me and it wasn't working for her either. So to be fair, sometimes things just don't work and they're nobody's fault. And then you do have to put them to rest. And I want to speak always of love and kindness to both my ex-wives. And we'll talk about that deeper next time. So after this, I said, can you give me 3 questions to ask so I don't end up with someone like this? So I'm going to reveal those 3 questions next week. And one of them, just to get you started, is tell me of a time. This is on a first date. So it gave me 3 questions to ask on a first date to do a quick little assessment, but make it fun. So they don't even know they're being grilled about this, that will avoid a person who isn't appreciative of certain types of things. And so here's the question. Think of a time and tell me the story of the greatest time you ever had, your memory from your childhood. If it involves other people, if it involves being part of a community, if it involves giving and taking and sharing and playing, then that's my person. Okay, so there were 3 questions. So there were 4 issues I had. So I addressed all 4 of them by having AI, Claude, which is magnifique is writing, right? It is the most beautiful linguist. Oh my God. Anyway, so Claude is what you want to use if you're going to have this kind of conversation. So it made the 4 questions for him. We'll do this on for Halloween. for Yeah, in fact, one time I broke up with her right before Valentine's Day, and I had no idea because I don't really celebrate those things. I mean, I got her flower and stuff for Valentine's Day, but I broke with her like 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that was wrong. And she reminded me, of course, constantly about it. Anyway, so I said, I've been talking to you 3 hours, and I'm going to tell you about physically what I like in a woman. I like a curvy woman. I like a dark hair. I like, fun. I like a smile that just makes lights up a room, right? So all these beautiful things. And a lot of that comes from my mom because I was in love with my mom, as every man should be, right? And the qualities of my mom was giving, loving, caring, being there, unconditional love, and joy. She was full of joy. Even the darkest times, her smile could light me up. So I want that in a woman. That's God-given, right? So then I took the description of this woman and all those questions, and I fed it to, at the time, I didn't have Nana Banana, fed the description, and I said, I want this to be at a table in Paris, France, and I want you to make this woman. This is the picture it came up with. This is using ideogram at the time. I'm going to go back and try it again and see if I get even more. But this woman, I just looked at her and I said, oh my God, that's what I'm looking for. That was it. So the idea is, if we're searching for real love in an artificial world who just came out from a pandemic, do you make a list of people and qualities that you want? Do you remind yourself that the qualities that your mom, what you're in love with that woman and why she meant so much to you? What are you actually looking for? And then what mistakes have you made? So my suggestion is that you sit down and have that soul-searching conversation. What didn't work out in my 2 marriages? It had nothing to do with what I wanted. I found what I wanted, and I married both women with the wholehearted condition that it was forever. And I was devastated that it wasn't. But what did I learn from each one? And then I dated about 47 dates I went on in the first year. Like, I literally had something every single week. I had 2 dates a week. Sometimes I'll admit it. I had 2 dates in one night, only because it just worked out that way. It was weird. But I tried Match, and I tried, Bumble, and I tried Coffee and Bagel and whatever else, even Tinder for a little bit. It just wasn't working for me. And I actually designed an app, and we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. I designed an app called True Date to find true love. Because one of the problems I had is I would give my phone number and I would tell them who I am. They would search and they'd find 500 pages of references, but they wouldn't call me back because they didn't want to give up their number, because they all had this experience with some angry stalker who kept calling them and bothered them till they had to change their number. And I'm like, why don't all dating apps just give you a video conference free, have a lunch date? So I started doing this. I started saying, join me on Zoom, get a fake number, call in on Zoom. Here's my number. I'm going to have a glass of wine. We're going to sit there and have a meal. And I did this a couple of times. It was kind of fun, And then, I'd always have an hour-long conversation before anything. And if I felt like at the end of an hour, I had to go meet her in person, then we'd have a lunch or a dinner date in a public place. I wanted to keep the feeling that they were totally safe with me, because there's nothing more powerful to be in an environment where someone feels free to be themselves and is not putting on airs. And I think in an hour-long conversation, whether that person is someone you can go further with. So if you are looking for love, the advantage you have is maybe you just spend some time talking to AI until you're ready for the real thing. Maybe you practice because you've been out of practice. I mean, I was married for 27 years. I mean, the last time I dated, it was a rotary phone, and I'd wait for an answering machine to record that I was going to meet her the next night. And then I'd have to call her back, and we had a party line. And I mean, just right. And beepers, right? So when I got out of the marriage and I had to call my son up. And so he got me, I got on Tinder and I said, what's up with this Tinder thing? This is kind of weird. These women want to do stuff that I don't know if I'm ready for quite yet. And so he started explaining it to me and, got me on the right appropriate thing. And then he started, anyway. So I had to have my son teach it to me. So what do we do when we're in a post-pandemic world where the Gen Z people are right now, their high school prom was online? I mean, this is even a deeper conversation. And this love language thing is really, we're going to deconstruct the love language, and we're going to talk about all these things. And I want to hear stories from you guys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to line up. In fact, if any of you want to do this, I want to have a conversation once a week with a woman somewhere in the world, wherever it is. I just want to have a conversation. I want you to call me, and I'm going to put my email address out there so you can contact Rick the AI guy at gmail.com. That's what I'm giving you right now. What you can do is send an email to that address. You can use your throwaway email address, so I'm not going to stalk you. And then we'll get together. If we have a conversation that lasts an hour and I want to hear from you again, I'm going to actually go out on a date with you. I may travel around the world if it's a woman in Paris and I want to go meet her and I really feel that strongly. Obviously 3 or 4 Zoom calls, but I'll kind of keep you. I'm going to spend a year searching for real love. I really am.
And stay tuned for more on that during our Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to, so that's the preview for the Valentine's episode. I wanted to share it now because I want you all to start contacting me through ricktheaiguy.com, gmail.com, right? Rick the AI guy, just spelled like that. It's pretty simple. And I'm using it only for this purpose right now. Okay. So I'll note that. All right. So then I started watching the AI guys, right? The AI Institute. That's the Macon guys, right? And the whole episode was, where is the human necessary? They had a marketing company. So where is the human necessary in the process of running the life cycle of their business? Aha. So that left me to, again, trying to figure out how to visualize that so it made sense. So here's my prompt. Number 1 is human. Number 2 is hybrid. And number 3 is AI. So I took the domain modern software development lifecycle. So I did this. This is the same thing for all. So in product planning requirements, it's a level 1, all human. For system architecture and design, level 2, half human, half AI, right? And it shows you exactly each one of these. I'm going to be posting this entire slide deck as a PDF. It's going to be on this episode in the notes. And then I'm going to create a repository of all my slide decks from all time. So you can go download this and take a look at it in detail. It's worth it, I promise you. And then when you get to level 2, human AI collaboration. So co-piloting the implementation of the architecture. And then level 4, which it seems to have missed here, but 5 is deployment infrastructure, blending. You're testing on humans, right? Because you're asking them to do it. Monitoring and optimization, level 3, all AI. And then human empathy, so delivery of the product, make sure it works. Qualitative feedback from human beings, okay? Let's do the same thing with wealth management. So I went and saw wealth manager at Chase Bank today, right? So number 1, level 1, human trust, client discovery, financial planning. 2, a little bit of both. And I actually sat there as he pulled up a whole plan for my, to age 93, he had me figured out, and I was 100% funded to then. Cool, fantastic. All right. So he used the AI there. And then he goes to level 3, portfolio construction and management, level 3, all AI. This is sort of interesting, isn't it? And pop in if anybody has any comments about this idea. And then I want to run the same prompt, and I want to do that this weekend as I kind of show people how to use these tools when we have the weekend tool time kind of thing. And then the market research, level 3. And then when it gets down to 5, and it seemed to have numbered these wrong, but everything else is right? Behavioral coaching, that's a 1. Compliance and regulation reporting, 1. So he spent 2.5 hours with me. Fantastic. And then, of course, you're reaching your milestone. You got to where you wanted to be. But then automated compliance. So make sure everything's legal. Cool. All right. Near future commerce lifecycle for balancing human. Okay. So here is order placement, predictive ordering. So this is for this is for Amazon. So how much level 3 is there? Look at this. Basically, the only human in the thing is problem solving for what is an autonomous delivery system. And then there's a blended resolution thing. So this is Amazon's life cycle as a business. Wow. Doctor's office. How many people have been to a doctor lately? Scheduling a patient inventory. Yeah, that can pretty much be a level 2. Medical history and bringing you on board. Okay, level 3. So we can ask you a bunch of questions before you come to the doctor. I think that's smart. We talked about that last week. Level 3. The text is a little screwed up here, but basically the direct interaction, absolutely human being. And then you get into treatment, diagnosis, and so it's a level 2. So the doctor works with their AIs to remind themselves, because they got 30 minutes per client, right? They got to remind you the whole history and how that's working out. Looks like we got some cycling problems on our live feed there. It's not keeping up. Okay, so then we get on to so we get into automate. Okay, so let me do one more here, a couple more. So this is the original thing. So the podcast today, if you go to they were answering questions from the audience that they've gotten all week long. And so it's this nice little interaction. This is what the conversation was about. Where in your business? So he was talking about when he does an executive summary, which is his business. He basically takes everything he's learned during his week and he delivers a podcast that gives you actionable stuff. That's 100% human. He handwrites everything in that himself. It's loaded up with reminders of all the things he's got going on so he could be focused, right? The same way we're doing this show. Then client intake and then onboarding and contracts. Yeah, level 3, level 2 for account management, social media execution, and then brand strategies. So that can be, kind of custom made. Education. So for me, curriculum design, level 2, get AI to help you out, right? Use Google Lookback LM if you want to learn how to do that. We'll have an education episode coming up really soon too. I'm trying to get like a really top. So hopefully you have Thomas Thompson back on. He's the creator of Eduade, the software to help assist educators. Version 3 just came out, had him on my show a long time ago, and I've asked for him to come back. So as soon as that's ready to go, we'll do it. Materials and reading prep. Okay, so that's level 3. So you gather your stuff together, and then mentorship and feedback, that's 100% human. And then student output, their assignments, they can work with a tutor, but they need to verify it's signature worthy and it's their authentic voice, and they have learned something. I call it signature worthy. I check with them. I look them in the eye. Is this signature worthy? That means, did you create it or did AI create it? Do you feel like it's your best output or did AI assist you too much? So I asked for a real open conversation, and I've had some deep, really meaningful and powerful conversations so if you want tutoring and FAQ support, ask, what did he mean by, to be or not to be? What's that all about, right? And then restaurant chain, right? So you know this already, right? Level 2 for planning and menu and supply chain inventory. Yeah, so that's a 2. Then social media marketing, that's the 3 of these days. Online ordering delivery, that's the 3 for sure. And in-person dining experience, 1. Bookkeeping and personnel management, 2, because you got to get people to work for you, right? You got to get that loyalty. And the loyalty and retention, that's the level 1, right? So, and then real estate. So real estate's our subject for tonight. And so here is... I'm going to walk you through the whole stack of what I've done here. So this is my notebook LM, and I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me switch over. So what I do to set this up is, number 1, anytime you're going to go use Notebook LM or the whole ecosystem, this is my plan for how you do anything. I just went through business, real estate, and other things. What I'm going to do here, and I'm also going to back up. So now we're in tool time. And I do need to speed up because I'm a little bit behind, but now we're in tool time.
And wait, before, I do.
Yeah, let's get the tool time music on because that's good music.
So wait, what are we calling this tool time? Are we talking about jobs or is this the proverbial Notebook LM part 6? I think
is it the real estate one? I don't know if we call it. It is Notebook LM 6, but it's actually the whole ecosystem. Are
we talking about real estate or we were going to talk about jobs and save real estate from Bob was here?
Oh, okay. So, the demo I have is all real estate. So we can run the real estate thing, but we'll go
Gotcha.
back and we're going to show you how we're going to create it. And then I'm going to work with Bob or whoever we end up getting to actually talk to the subject matter expert. I am not a realtor. So all the information, I'm just showing you what I did with Notebook LM. I'm showing you how to get there no matter what your domain is. So if you're looking for a job,
All right.
you follow the same technique. So what I'm going to show you is exactly how to get there. So let's play Notebook or whatever tool time thing you got loaded up there.
30 minutes to master, tools to explore. Let your imagination soar like never before. AI Tool Time with Rick McCarley, where your digital dreams come true.
Ignition.
With tool time, and today's demo is going to be not just Notebook LM, not just Gemini, not just Google Drive. It's going to be all the above and a little bit of Perplexity just for fun, right? So I'm going to start by showing you what I'm about to do can be done on any information you have. You're teaching a 16-week course on art appreciation, okay? You are getting ready to do a business plan execution. You're going to do real estate. So the metaphor I'm using here, the underlying thing, applies everywhere, but I'm just going to show you what it looks like if you were to do it on the idea of real estate and using AI in real estate. So what I call this that you're looking at is my thesis statement. This is the end result. So I have easy bake oven. Here's the pie we're going to have. This is the hero shot at the end. On the left, we need to get all the sources. So my thesis statement is the following. How can I use AI as a realtor to make myself better, more efficient, better service to my customer, and provide services that set me aside and make me more profitable? That's the question. When you start with that, you said, who's got that information? Well, there's a bunch of YouTube videos that you see on the left. And I think I got together 67 sources for my final thing, and I'll show you the actual thing. Then what do? First thing I do after collecting as much as I can, I'm going to add deep research. You see fast research there, search the web for more sources. And then what I'm going to do now to show you, so to prepare your library, imagine you have access to all books on the planet, which you do. That's what the internet's about, right? And then you're asking this one question. Who's the expert on that? So here's how I get it. I go into Perplexity, and I'll show you this after. This is Easy Bake Up. This is the final exam. This is what it's going to look like. And I said to Perplexity, why did I choose Perplexity to do this? Now, you can do this in Gemini, and I'll show you in just a minute. What I ended up, as I said, tell me every piece of hardware and software that before, during, and after a sale of real estate will make me better, faster, using all the AI tools that are available. What are the top AI tools? And here is the answer that it gave me. Now, why is Perplexity the place to do this? Is that when you're in the process of quantifying what you're looking for and refining your thesis statement, if you've ever done a master's thesis, it basically, here's what I'm going to do, here's what I'm not going to do. That's just as important, is to focus that attention where you want it. So you can go in there and have a long conversation with Gemini. And the cool thing is now Gemini has a direct connection to Notebook LM. Or the way I did it is I use Perplexity. Why Perplexity? It has, I think, 8 engines. It has ChatGPT in there. It has Gemini in there. It has Grok in there. It has DeepSeek, US version, completely customized. It's got their own thing. And it's the best at not hallucinating. That's super important, because if you put junk into your notebook, that means you've got spoiled the ground on which your truth is founded. So Perplexity is the best truth engine. It's twice as good as Gemini, Google, ChatGPT alone, because every citation you can then look. So I verify the citation. So after a long conversation, which typically takes about 20, 30 minutes, I've refined and focused my thesis statement. And then at the end, so here's all the citations you see on the left. Then I say, create me a plain text URLs, one per line, hit return carriage after each one, of everything we just talked about. Then I also export a PDF of the entire conversation in Perplexity, put that into my Notebook LM, then put this list of URLs, and we'll actually show you, and then I start to get outputs. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over, and then this is kind of where we're headed. I just want to show you what I ended up with. So this is 9 ways artificial intelligence amplifies real estate. Here's the tools, each identified. That's how I got here, is by starting by getting this information. So this is what your output's going to be. And this is a PowerPoint deck. This is 15 slides that talks about different things. And then I'm going to play this for you, and then we're going to go stop sharing, and I'm going to go over. You can hear this, right, Brendan?
I do not have audio yet.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to have to stop sharing here. Let me get back over. I knew there would be a glitch. I'm not quite sure why we've got it. All right, yeah, take me off for just a second and come back at StreamYard. I'm going to try to share one more time. So I wonder if, I think I need to share the window.
Yes, the window will work with audio.
Okay. And there we are. Now, do you see this? Let me back up just a little bit. Turn the volume up. Okay.
Let's get right into it.
And I hear it.
We're talking about one of the biggest shakeups in real estate, period. We're looking at how artificial intelligence is completely changing the game for agents all across the US, literally transforming every single piece of a deal. So you got to ask the big question right off the bat. Can a robot actually sell a house? Well, the short answer, nope, not a chance. But the real story is so much more interesting. You see, AI isn't here to replace agents. It's becoming their new secret weapon, their partner that handles all the grunt work so they can focus on what humans do best, building relationships and, actually closing deals. And look, this isn't some sci-fi fantasy set way off in the future. We're talking about right now. AI adoption in real estate is set to just explode, going from about 36% today to a wild 90% by 2030. This is a massive wave, and honestly, figuring out how to ride it isn't really an option anymore. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to follow the life of a deal from start to finish. We'll start with the AI revolution itself, then we'll see how it helps find leads before the sale, how it helps you close the deal during the sale, and maybe most importantly, how it builds loyalty long after you've handed over the keys. Okay, so let's really get into it. The whole idea here, the big picture, isn't about replacing people, it's about augmenting them. Think of it like giving agents superpowers. AI takes over all the repetitive, boring, time-sucking tasks, and that frees you up to focus on the high-value stuff, the strategy, the negotiation, and the actual human connection with your clients. And the National Association of Realtors really nails it with this quote. The agent is the human in the loop. That's the key. The AI brings the data, the speed, the raw power, but it's the agent who brings the experience, the trust, the real guidance. The tech makes you better. It doesn't make you obsolete. So let's see how this actually works, starting at the very beginning, finding a client. For decades, right? Prospecting was all about who you knew, gut feelings. Now it's a science. And the magic behind that science is something called predictive analytics. The best way to think about it is like having a crystal ball that's backed by, a mountain of data. These AI systems just churn through billions of data points, market trends, what people are searching for online, property records, to flag homeowners who are starting to look like they're ready to sell, sometimes before they've even told their spouse. So what does this actually look like for an agent? Well, you've got tools like SmartZip and Catalyze AI that are digging through data to find those likely sellers for you. At the same time, other platforms like Yalabo are watching buyer search behavior, identifying who's serious, and then hitting them with the perfect ad. It's all about getting to the right person with the right message at the exact right moment. But finding the lead is just step one, right? We all know that speed to lead is everything in this business. And this is where these new agentic tools are a total game changer. Think of them as your personal AI assistant that doesn't just talk, it acts. These things can instantly chat with a new lead any time of day or night, qualify them, and even get them on your calendar. You literally never miss it. And the result of all this, it's huge. Just by using these tools for that instant smart follow-up, agents can boost their lead conversion rate by up to 35%. That is a massive return on investment just from being faster and smarter than the competition. Okay, so you've landed the lead. Awesome. Now we get into the core of the job, getting that deal to the finish line. And this is where AI is just streamlining everything from figuring out the asking price to signing the last document. You can really break down the AI powered listing process into 4 big steps. First, you get an instant, super accurate valuation. Then you generate amazing property descriptions. After that, you create these incredible ways for people to see the property. And finally, you just fly through all the paperwork. Let's start with pricing. These automated valuation models, or AVMs, think Zillow's Zestimate, they analyze millions of data points to give you a price in minutes. And the accuracy is, well, it's kind of scary good. For homes that are actually on the market, the Zestimate has a median error rate of just 1.9%. That's incredible. All right, next up, the listing description. We've all been there, trying to write something compelling for the 10th time this month. It's a huge time sink. But now, as this broker told Business Insider, tools like ChatGPT can write unique, really engaging descriptions in just a few seconds. It saves agents literally countless hours. And then there's staging. Oh man. Traditionally, this was a nightmare. Thousands of dollars, movers, weeks of planning. But now, with AI virtual staging tools like reimaginehome.ai, you can digitally furnish an empty room with any style you want instantly. And get this, it can be up to 97% cheaper. No joke. It lets buyers see themselves in the home. And the toolkit just keeps getting bigger. You got companies like Matterport creating these amazing digital twins of a house for virtual tours. You got AI powered smart contracts from DocuSign that can cut down paperwork time by half. There are even tools like Snapped that spot fake pay stubs and AI drones that get you stunning aerial shots automatically. It's wild. But let's be real. The job isn't over just because papers are signed. The smartest agents know that today's happy client is the key to tomorrow's referrals and repeat business. And AI is now the secret to managing those relationships for the long haul without going crazy. This is where AI powered CRMs, or customer relationship management systems, are just invaluable. I'm talking about platforms like Wise Agent and HomeBot. They don't just sit there like an address book, they actively work for you. They automate your follow ups, they send personalized reports on home values, and they even use that same predictive tech to guess when a past client might be thinking about moving again. When you get right down to it, these smart CRMs play the long game on your behalf. A tool like Follow Up Boss makes sure you're always in touch without you lifting a finger. Others, like Boomtown, actually score your past clients to tell you who's heating up again. It's all about staying top of mind effortlessly. So when they're ready, you're the first person they call. So, after all that, what does this mean for you, the agent of the future? Look, it's not about learning to code or becoming a tech genius. It's about grabbing these amazing tools to make your human expertise even more powerful. And the data, it absolutely backs this up. A recent survey from the National Association of Realtors found that CRMs are already the #2 tech tool for getting quality leads, right after social media. And as these CRMs get smarter and smarter with AI, you can bet that number is only going to climb. So the takeaway here, the message, is really, really clear. AI is not a threat. It's a force multiplier. It's the thing that crunches the numbers, sends the emails, and schedules the calls so that you can focus on advising, on negotiating, and on building that trust that is always, always going to be the heart of this business. It supercharges your skills. It does not replace. So we end right back where we started, this AI revolution. It's not on the horizon. It's here, right now. It's setting a totally new standard for what it means to be fast and smart and of service in real estate. So the only question left for all of us is, how are you going to use it?
If that's not it, literally, if I gave that to a client, which took me 20 hours probably to all total for all of this, I'm going to show you how I did it in a minute, okay? Come up with a thesis, go out and refine your thesis, then collect all the data you can about it by using ChatGPT or Perplexity or other methods to basically collect the URLs that you need. Then you feed that into Notebook LM. I immediately, as step number 2, after I've got my certified, clean data, my grounded truth that's focused on the answers that I want, and I think about that for at least 10 of that, 10 hours of the 20 hours, 30 hours that I spent on this. Then I immediately hit this button. This is your what do you call it? Somehow I'm losing words here. So this is a quick assessment of what are all the main factors. So take a look at these. So core applications, operations management, investments analysis. And if I have questions about what tools I want to focus on or what I want to do, this is where I ask the center part of the question. So here is what I asked for is of all this data. So I had 100 some odd different videos and other sources of information. What are the lead generation, speed to lead is generation number one. What are the 5 factors? Typically it's 5 that I ask. There you go. Lead generation for AI content marketing. So I knew if you listened very carefully, it broke up my audio video that I just gave you into these 5 categories. So what did I say to get what you just saw? Tell me before, during, and after the AI tools that you would need to use to empower you as a human being to make more profitability. So that's my thesis. Once I do that and I break it down into 4 or 5 or maybe 6 at most, before, during, and after is what I did, then I start creating stuff like this. So this is brand new to Notebook LM as of a month ago or so. It will put in and generate. So I know that if I go to present to the real estate community, they're going to say, what was that tool you used? Now, this took me a little bit because the one thing it didn't do is in column D there, you see ChatGPT. Those are all the URLs. I had to go into Google Drive and get Gemini to put those back in there. And I ended up using Comet at the end. So there on the right is all the top 20 URLs for all the products. So they see a product they like. I want them to go. Giraffe 360 is a high-end 3D camera and AI platform that turns scans into HDR photos, virtual 3D tours. And then here's the implementation. So detailed implementation, effectiveness. So now I can hand you this, and then you can go purchase these products or research it yourself. So as a consultant, I would charge $2,000 for a 4-hour presentation. This is what I would, and I'm giving it to you right now. And I'm telling you, you can take any subject on the planet. I am not a realtor, never trained to be one. I've sold 7 houses, so I got an idea. But I did all this with just thinking through the steps. Create your thesis, make it down to 5 objects that you're trying to create as an output, which is before, during, and after. How do I amplify my AI to make my human skills more profitable and more efficient and more practical for my customers? Okay. So I come in and I add my stuff. And so here's on, so I'm going to switch now over to the other screen. But so I'm going in, I'm doing this on history of photography. So I'm doing a history of photography to the digital revolution. So this is my application of the exact same thing that you just saw, but with photography history course I'm teaching that's 16 weeks. And then I can do that by a knowledge factory engine. So that's raise your hand if you're drowning in data, but starving for insight. You don't need another chatbot. You need a factory of knowledge. That's what Google Notebook LM is. What's your job? Be the human that curates that, focus it into a thesis statement. Then, if you're really good like I am, you then stylize the communication so it's more effective. So this is not stylized. That's way too much information. There's a simplicity. This talks about, that capability. So I'm going to, and then here's what it really breaks down to. Gather smart information. Instantly gather diverse sources globally. Go wide. Focus and refine in the middle section by having conversations with Google Gemini built into Notebook LM in that midsection. Curate and refine it with AI assistance. Then go over to dynamic output. Decide what you want to output and how you want to output it. And there's another way of looking at it for curriculum for educators. So I'm going to skip right there, and I'm going to go back and stop sharing my screen. Are we still there, Brandon? And I'm going to switch out of that. Or am I?
Yes,
How do I stop this crazy thing from sharing? Oh, okay. Share screen. Then I'm going to switch, and I'm going to share the window. I don't think there's any audio here. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen where we are. And so I'm going to walk you through. So here's perplexity. So here's, find me 10 most important things about realtors or using artificial intelligence. So here's my question that I asked, right? So if you're not familiar with Perplexity, a couple things is that you basically start here. Here's your history of all the subjects. This is where, now of course I just got rid of it, didn't I? Current website, screen, find me all the AITV shows. So anyway, you can use it for a couple things, and for some reason I don't have, maybe I have it here. Oh, there they are. Okay. So this is where it created so it actually, I used it to do it here. So if you're using Comet, Perplexity is built in, and there's an assistant off to the right. So you could actually use Comet Browser, which is free to use. You can pay for Perplexity too. It's $20 a month, like everybody else is. You can use it to give you an assistant on the side, which says, pull me together 10 of the URLs. Give me those 10 URLs from the document on your left that are, or on your right, I guess, that are about real estate things. All the URLs, give me as return carriage between each URL as a list of just URLs only. So basically I go through there. It's now going to take a look at the screen over here, and then there's all the URLs, okay? So now I can take that and I can copy these, and this is not the right one, but you get the idea, right? I can take that, then I go over to Perplexity. Oh, other thing about Perplexity is that's where I get my news now too. So you can set it to go through and find all the stories that are going on. And each one of these is Christie's Auction Declaration of Independence, Apple founding papers. Wow. Okay. So there it is. And here's all your links. So this is how I use my news, right? So Warner Brothers year-long Harry Potter anniversary plans. Here's all the stuff. Where's the information come from? There is harrypotter.com. So it's an answer engine, and that's why it's so amazing, right? So I can take that, and I can come over here. So I'm going to skip over just a little bit. So here's my David Shapiro kind of research. Here is robots. This is the war on reality. There's David Shapiro, and you can see here's the 5 layers of post-labor economics. So you can see this is the slide deck from that particular one. What's the future look like, etc. So what I do is I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new Perplexity. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to go back to the source here. Make sure I've got 2 accounts. That's how many I'm doing, right? So I could come in here and create a new notebook. And then what do I do to start with? Right here it says websites. Say, look, this is automatic. I copy and paste those URLs. It inserts, and so it's going to scrape all these websites. Now, this is not what I'm trying to do, but let's say it's about the history of photography. You can do this in Gemini or any large language model. You just want to make sure there's a return carriage. As it says here, upload your sources, separate with a space or a new line. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do to start with. So if you're looking for how to get a job in the AI world, put that question in, and then all the URLs that it finds for you that you find useful, have it do what I just did here. When you insert, it then ingests every one of those and then has it complete. So there's some of them that you can remove because they're behind a paywall or some other reason. But like here's plod.ai, right? And so here's the information, and then you go to the website. So this is where it came from. And Plod is a device. There's the device, right? So if you're doing a thing, so this is a listening device that notates everything that you do. I'm going to allow it to do that. And then here's what the annual, so it's a device that's like a size of a quarter in size. And here's the new device. You can put it on the back of your phone, and it basically tracks everything you've done. So it's one of the tools that it was suggesting I find out about. So how did I get there? Because it's part of this, and this is grounded source information. What else can I add? Take a look at these capabilities. My Google Drive. So now I've got connected to everything on my entire Google Drive. If I've shared with me, so I shared my one account with the other account. So this is from the mastermind. So I can come in here and take 100 documents, 300 documents that I have in a folder, and then ingest that. If I have the entire YouTube, I could do that. I can search for my documents here. So this is grounded truth. So your Google Drive becomes a source. What other sources do we have? We've got uploading files, anything on your hard drive, you can get that. Copy and paste text, go to the drive. Then you can go do deep research. So I could say, tell me everything I need to know about AI. This is Google working on your behalf to get this set of information to be so complete. So let me go back to a little bit of Easy Bake Oven. Let me go back to my notebook here. This is on the real estate one. So I did a deep research and said, find a deeper information with artificial intelligence influencing the real estate market, productivity, and stuff. Okay. So now what I do once I get a bunch of sources in here, and then I'll do a deep research. And then I go over here and I automatically hit this button right here in the top right, mind map. I'm going to generate a brand new one because I put new information in there since I last went here. But you can see there's 300 bits of information. Why is a mind map useful? Because it tells you where you are and where you want to go. So I thought of this problem of being the best real estate with AI agent, with AI augmentation. And this is what it came up with once I put all the information in. So this is a mind map of what's there. So in lead generation, conversational AI, predictive analytics. So what does that look like? And it shows you everything. And these are the things that it got, right? If I want to, I can come here and I can click on this and it goes to the center, this is your Gemini chat window. You are chatting with Gemini itself based on 53 source items that I've got over here, including all these there is the actual video that it came from. Here's a source guide, and I could go actually watch the video too. So your stuff is not dead information, it's live. And what it's doing is it's developing an outline based upon me clicking on this lead generation. And then it's going to say from demographic behavior prediction, blah, blah, blah. And then what does it tell you? It tells you where it got it from. Which one of your things did it get this? Wise Agent, Catalyst AI. Then I could say, name just the URLs that I got this from, and I could create a master set of those. Or I can say, give me a summary of everything. So after the mind map, which I'm basically looking at, what did I get in this big junk pile of information? I'm filtering to see I got what I needed. Industry benefits and challenges, operations and compliance, property and marketing. It's a filtering and a curating of all the knowledge on the left. So that confirms that. Then I go to automatically, this is how I do it. I'll go to the next thing, which is to do a, I don't usually do audio overview, but I will definitely do a, why am I missing it here all of a sudden? Reports. Okay. So it makes these 4 options always available to you. And that is create your own report, a briefing document. So if you go here and you click on create your own, right? Create a formal competitive review of 2026 functional beverage markets for the wellness drink industry. Okay, so that's not a good one. Let me try another one here. So it creates these for you, a briefing document. There you go. It usually populates for you. So now it's going to create a briefing document. Do I want that? No. I want to come here and I want to say, I want a study guide, or I want a terminology handbook, or I want a skills comparison, or whatever I want. Create your own allows you to come in here and say what you want. I want to tell me 5 ways. So tell me the top 5 ways that real estate agents can use AI to augment their business. That's not working, but you get the idea. So then I generate the report. So what do I do with the report, which I've already done up here. So you can kind of see, here's one of my conversations. And, here we go. So this is lead generation. There it is. And there's all the information. So I can turn that into what is a question I ask over here. So now we get to the point where I'm doing the slide decks, and I'll show you the slide deck in just a minute too. But I can also create a quiz, which is great for educators, not so fantastic for what we're probably doing here. But the slide deck that I'm going to show you in a minute is basically this one right here. And so what I want to do, and I've already created a couple of them. Let me say this guy. This is the slide deck. All right. Actually, the one that I really like was this one. I did a really great job. All right. How did I get this? Take a look at this. This is my prompt. Give me a photographically rich illustration of the tools in the top 15 total for one for each slide, the slide deck showing off the capabilities in the top 15 ways artificial intelligence can be used in real estate. So I ask basically to fill the screen with the image of what you're doing with the tool in a visual and metaphorical way. That's great for infographics. And put the text as 12-point type, white text in a black box in the bottom right-hand corner. What does that look like? Hey, it looks like this. Take a look at this. All right. So this is Smart Zip. What does it do? Predictive sellers likelihood of selling, 85%, data aggregation. So this is that first tool. This is the second tool, Convent. There's the AI. So in the bottom right-hand corner is the text, and the rest is filled with some visual that lets you know what it's doing. This is cool, right? Create a website and assemble it for this particular property. Holy cow, Base 44 does that. Put yourself out there. Basically send individual personalized mass outreaches, videos of you selling that house, optimized for each one of your clients, automated. HeyGen, the tool, you want to do that. Then you want to compare the HOA fields, the crime rates, and downtown zip codes. Boom, Perplexity you use. So here's the drone. So HomeJab is coordinates autonomous drone flight paths to capture professional aerial cinematography inspection. So you can inspect the house with the drone. Holy cow, that's fantastic. So if you want to have proof that there's not a leaky roof or it's still intact or whatever, use this software, right? So this you put in the house, and this is Giraffe 360. You put it in the middle of the room, it scans the whole room, it gives you a walkthrough. So you put all these together, it automatically stitches it together. So no matter what you're doing, and so here's before you got a bare bones place, you could actually take the customer's existing furniture and then stage the room with their existing furniture in it by just taking a picture of what they got now. Say, can you put this furniture in this room, in this space? Wow. How about you got pictures of the house, but there's a rusty old car sitting out front? No worries, Canva. And then you've got quartz countertop. So analyzes property photos, identify features, and auto-generate detailed SEO optimized listing descriptions. Yes, thank you. Okay, so House Canary leverages decades of sales and economic data, provide pinpoint property valuations and investment forecasts. So how rentable is this? Can you use, can you Airbnb this property? Can you use a secondary house and income? What's my numbers going to look like? And then you could detect if there's something wrong with the information the client gave you. Oh boy, if they photoshopped their pay receipts, you might be in trouble. And then even whisper flow. So it's suggesting that basically you talk to it and you use that Plod device. I think it's one of the other ones. Plod. Oh, here you go. So this is a small device that you just carry with you. It records all your conversations and then gives you a summary report automatically. It's got AI built into it. Offers a comparison analysis. So what's the offer 1, 2, 3, 4, and then how can I do it? Manus is a little bit complicated, so I wouldn't recommend that to realtors. Okay, there we go. And that was just asking a couple of questions. Then I said, all right, so let me get you to make a really cool, how about this? How about show me the life cycle? So here's the software: acquisition, sales and closing, and retention. Awesome. In fact, I'll show you an updated version of this because I went into Photoshop and made this even better a little bit later on. But here is before, during, and after, and the software that you're using. The Matterport and Giraffe 360 is what produced this 360. So literally it's the interior. So this is a Miami Beach is the illustration I got here. It does inside with Matterport. I'm sorry, Giraffe 360. Then it takes Matterport to go fly out the window of your condo, turn around and show you the view, and then show you what it looks like at sunrise, sunset, and then you could have it all together. This is actionable stuff, right? And this puts it all in one place. Then I made a couple of more. So I always try to do 2 or 3 of these, and I kind of think about, well, how do I want to present this? So this is another one. Before, during, and after. That was my thesis idea originally. And then you see there's the device. This is what it looks like. So you can actually see the end result. And I ran the same prompt, a slightly different prompt again and again. And then this is basically the same idea. And you can see if you're trying to present to, if I were hired as a consultant, this is what I would do for them. And I've got the visual, I've got the tools, I've got also my spreadsheet at the end. So there's a little bit different look at that same idea, establishing the value of the materials in the house. And then here's writing an email you're sending out. There's staging the house. There's the Matterport tool. This is, I thought, was a better visual. So I actually put together a whole thing, and I'll probably go back and do this later. There's, recording all of your stuff, and you're creating a presentation and a website entirely for it. I would use Adobe's Express application. It's better than Canva. It's got video, audio, and will create the entire website for you. So I'm going to substitute that out when I do a presentation, which I'm hoping to do for a large group of AI interested or curious real estate agents, because I'll leave them behind with all these tools, and all of a sudden what was 40 hours of my work is now actionable. And you can do it about anything. So post-labor economics, here's David Shapiro's kind of deep dive. And I've been running this one like so many different ways. I did a couple of dark versions of the great decoupling, when we no longer are tied to our jobs and what that means. So, to land the plane kind of, you want to basically find a way to illustrate so people can look and think visually. You saw the audio overview. So probably the most important thing is that audio overview, because you just found out, because you watched the YouTube video, right? Exactly what I do. So curate your data, come up with a thesis first, curate your data, chat with your data until you really focus in on what you want. You can actually ask it to write a prompt so that you get great results. Tell it what you want right here. You got Gemini right here. You could do the same thing over in Gemini. So here is, I think, yeah, there we go. So there I am. And I went through a couple of, this is just the pictures I've been working with recently. So you can see, I went back and redid this slide because they didn't like the way it was. So next week, when we do have an expert, we'll be going deeper dive and talk about what does an expert think about what I just presented, and is there stuff in the real marketplace that maybe is better or different. I want to figure out if I could do this for a living. I really want to charge $2,000 for 4 hours of work. Actually, 60 hours of work, and the $2,000 is for me actually presenting to them. So you just got to look at, if you want to hire me, that's what I cost. 4-hour presentation. This is what I'm going to deliver to you. It's actionable evidence, and I'll leave you behind with everything you want. You can do follow-up questions. I charge $250 an hour for any commercial client just to get started. And then if I add value to what you do, hey, cut me in on the good side of the bet, right? So I'm going to stop sharing now, and we'll kind of wrap it up today. And hopefully next week we'll be able to come back to, let me go ahead and come back to our screen here. How you doing, Brandon? What do you think? You want to buy a house?
I'm just soaking it up. I think you're a real estate agent in another life,
right?
Jack of all trades.
I mean, I bought and sold 7 houses, so I got some experience. But I got to tell you, I literally have done this on philosophy. I've done it on buying a house, medical care. I've done it, the whole life force thing just started with curiosity. So all I'm saying to you is, follow the 5-step, find out what you want to know about, be deeply curious, and you can learn anything you want. I feel like I have a postdoctoral degree in post-labor economics. And one day maybe we'll spend the day doing that. But I think I've got it figured out, what the world, and then I'm writing music and I'm doing a play. And then so my children's book, you might have seen this in a previous episode, I did from a children's psychologist perspective. What did I do right and wrong in this children's book? I did that with Notebook LM and Gemini or ChatGPT, right? And it was a combination of that. And then I'm a visual learner. So my artifacts are privileging incredible visuals. In fact, I'm going to go through some art projects. I'm using Google Notebook LM to make absolutely gorgeous artwork that will blow your freaking mind. So stay tuned for that next time. So I definitely am going to, is there any questions anybody has? 7-11 minutes. No audio for us either.
Oh,
okay.
That was from a while ago, but I did find our
there you go.
Cat from earlier.
There must be 10 of those, because that's the other one has a tabby cat facing forward too, but there you go. That's it. So that no doubt was done. Yeah, Kling AI. If you take a look at the comment, right? Kittens moonwalk, Kling AI dance. So you load up any video that you can find, and then it matches that with whatever picture you generate. So yeah, there you go. There's your moment of Zen, right? I love that. The moment of Brandon
Exactly.
Zen. I love it ending with some humor. That's awesome. Well, thank
All right,
you,
and we will catch you
ladies and
back here next
gentlemen.
week.
Yeah.
Rick, you want to plug your Saturday show
Oh,
one
yeah.
more time?
Yeah. So this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., I decided not to go as long as I thought I was. This Saturday, come with an idea, and I'll show you how to do it. So last time when we did your group, it was one guy was applying for a job. That's what he started off. And your group is called Life Hacks. So I thought that was kind of valid to go through. And you were showing off how you made the book and the other one. So that's what we're trying to do. We want you to come with us. If you got some idea.
Rick, I'll have you know, well, while you were doing Notebook LM, Naomi came in here to say goodnight to me. She's like, did you make that book with AI? And I said, yeah. She goes, where are all the pictures, Dad?
Oh, okay. You know, if you want
She's
to come,
holding me to a higher standard. And I said, listen, Naomi, I had 26 minutes to get that to print.
I'm not
No
Rick McCauley. I can't do that. Yeah, 11 to 1 Eastern time. Thank you very much, Claire. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys will be there and anybody can join up. Rick, the AI guy, I'm trying to look for real quickly the URL. I don't think it's a Zoom call link.
Yeah.
Send me an email if you can't
it
find
it.
We'll post it.
Yeah, it's the same one as this past couple weeks.
Yes, it's the same permanent link. Thank you, everybody. To the world. What?
It said as long as we don't freeze to death this weekend.
Oh
we
yeah.
Have,
well, stay indoors.
Iguanas falling out of the tree.
And if you
we'll
want,
see you next week.
No one is Rick McCauley. You're right. Brandon, bring your daughter, and we'll make pictures for the book. How about that? We'll publish it on Blurb. Ooh, let's get fancy.
I love
let's do it.
All right. Have a great week, everyone.
Namaste.